The first photo dropped on a Thursday morning. F was eating bread soaked in pap when her sister screamed from the other room. "F, you're on the blogs." She rushed to the phone and froze. Her face plastered beside a blurry hotel hallway photo. The headline: Billionaire Zayn Okwudili impregnates makeup artist. Wife responds with shocking evidence. The comments were brutal. "These side chicks have no shame. She wanted to trap him with a baby. How much did she collect? Which in lip gloss?" More photos came next. Screenshots of F's texts, leaked voice notes, bank receipts, all edited, all twisted. Amara's doing. F's hands shook. She called Barrister Olamide in panic. "She's destroying me," she cried. "She's making it look like I planned this." Olamide's voice was calm but cold. "She's fighting dirty. That means she's scared. And you still have the real evidence. We wait." But the damage was spreading faster than they could clean it up. By nightfall, vloggers were dissecting her life. TikTokers reenacted scenes she never lived. A fake pregnancy test photo even went viral, sponsored by a page connected to Amara's PR team. But just when it felt like she couldn't breathe, the tide shifted. One blog, small but honest, posted a leaked hospital record showing that F was, in fact, really pregnant and had been admitted for stress-induced complications. Comments started to change. "Wait, so it's real? Maybe she was the victim all along. Why would the wife lie?" Zayn stayed silent. But his silence said enough. F didn't feel like she was winning. Because now it wasn't just about escaping Zayn. It was about protecting a child that half the country already hated. And somewhere in the shadows, someone was watching her bleed and smiling. The knock came at midnight. F was half asleep on the floor mat beside her sister when she heard it. Soft at first, then firmer. Rhythmic. Confident. Like whoever was outside knew she'd answer. She crept to the door and peeked through the curtain. Lone. No guards. No car engine running. She opened the door a crack. "Go away. I need 5 minutes," he said calmly. 5 minutes to what? Lie. Threaten me again. Zayn stepped into the room without permission. Same way he stepped into her life. No boundaries. No warning. Adana stirred in the corner. "Don't," F snapped. "Keep your voice down." He looked around, taking in the peeling walls, the fan without a blade, the scent of illness. "This is where you're hiding?" he asked. "This is where you want to raise my child?" F's hands curled into fists. He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a manila envelope, thick and crisp. "Let's stop pretending," he said. "You want safety. I want my child. Sign this. And we both get what we want." She took it slowly. Inside a contract. Full prenatal coverage. Monthly allowance. Discretion clause. And at the bottom, primary custody. Zayn Okwudili. Her heart stopped. "You want to take my child?" "I want to raise what's mine," he said. "You can live in one of my apartments. Quietly. No press. No drama. You'll be taken care of. All I ask is that you disappear from the headlines." F stared at him. "This isn't protection," she whispered. "It's a cage." Zayn stepped closer. "It's survival." She met his eyes. "No, it's ownership. And I'm done being owned." She tore the contract in half, dropped it at his feet, and opened the door. "You have 5 seconds to get out before I wake the whole street." He stared at her, not angry, not surprised, just patient. "I'll give you time," he said softly. "But make no mistake, F. I always get what's mine." The moment F stepped out of the clinic, the flashing cameras nearly blinded her. Journalists swarmed like flies. Microphones shoved in her face. Shouts from every direction. "Is Zayn really the father? Did you fake the pregnancy for money? How much did you collect to ruin a marriage?" Olamide pulled her into the waiting SUV. Doors slammed. Tires screeched. Inside, F trembled. She hadn't eaten since morning. Her stomach twisted not from hunger, but from fear. "Do you think it'll come back negative?" she whispered. Olamide turned to her, eyes fierce. "You are pregnant. For him. The test will prove it." But the lawyer's words couldn't stop her hands from shaking. Because it wasn't just about proving he was the father. It was about keeping the child safe once he was exposed. The next morning, a sealed white envelope arrived by courier. DNA results. F and Zane's names printed side by side. She didn't open it right away. She waited until she was alone, with her sister asleep beside her, her phone off and her hands still. She peeled the envelope open, scanned the first few lines, then stopped. "This report is inconclusive." She blinked. "Primary DNA samples appear corrupted. Recommend retesting." Her blood ran cold. She called Olamide immediately. "What does that mean?" Olamide's voice was slow, careful. "It means someone tampered with the samples." "But how?" "They took it from me directly." "They didn't need to touch yours," she said. "They only needed to touch his." Hours later, Olamide's contact at the clinic confirmed it. A masked man broke into the private lab the night before results were processed. Only one file was accessed, Zane's. No camera footage. No fingerprints. It was clean. Too clean. And now, Zane could claim anything. He could say it wasn't his. He could accuse her of sleeping with someone else. He could deny the child completely. And he'd have no proof to fight against. Because the one thing F had left, the truth had just been erased. The knock was gentle this time. Not demanding. Not violent. Just hesitant. F wasn't expecting anyone. Not Olamide. Not her sister. Not even fear. She peeked through the curtain. It was a woman. Maybe mid-30s. Brown skin. Tired eyes. Lip scar. And a baby carrier strapped to her chest. "Who are you?" Fast through the door. The woman looked up. Her voice soft, cracked. "You don't know me. But I know him." That was all it took. Inside they sat opposite each other on plastic chairs. The baby slept soundly. His tiny fists curled like he was ready to fight the world. The woman's name was Tina. "I was 21 when I met Zane," she began. "Interning at his company. Fresh out of school. He picked me out in a crowd, made me feel seen." F didn't interrupt. "He was charming. Gentle at first. Then possessive. Then cruel. And by the time I realized I was pregnant, he'd already erased me." She lifted the baby's carrier gently. "He told me to get rid of this one. When I refused, he had my apartment raided for drugs. Fake charges. I lost my job, my name. Everything." Stared in horror. "Why are you here now?" Tina smiled, but it was a smile without joy. "Because I thought I was alone. I thought no one would believe me. But then I saw your face, on the blogs. And I saw that same fear in your eyes." She reached into her purse and pulled out a small silver flash drive. "I kept everything. Recordings, emails, voice notes, even a video of one of his outbursts. I was too scared to use it. But maybe you're not." F took the flash drive in her shaking hand. "Why trust me with this?" Tina looked down at her child. "Because monsters shouldn't raise sons. And yours shouldn't raise daughters." The flash drive burned a hole in her bag all week. F couldn't sleep. Could barely eat. Her baby was growing, her sister was recovering, but she was unraveling. Until the call came. A female journalist from a new media platform. Fearless, rising, known for taking down politicians and predators alike. Her name was Ijeoma Onu. "I believe you," she said after F told her everything. "But I won't let your story die in the comment section of a gossip blog." She offered F a seat in front of 3 cameras, a mic, and the world. The interview was filmed in secret. For no makeup. No filter. No gloss. No edits. She told it all. How she was hired to paint Amara's face. And slowly erased in the process. How Zane stalked, threatened, bought her silence, and tried to own her womb. How his wife, not innocent either, used her like bait in a war of pride. How Tina came forward too. How the rich rewrite the truth while the poor bleed quietly. She ended the interview with a whisper. I may not have power, but I have truth. And I'm not afraid anymore. The story aired at 7 p.m. on Sunday. By 7:45 it had 200,000 views. By midnight, Zayn's name was trending in 5 countries. The flash drive clips were posted too. His voice, his threats, his text messages, the breakdown of the tampered DNA results, Tina's testimony, and a recorded moment where Zayn nearly hit F during one of their last encounters, all captured on a hotel's forgotten hallway camera. Brands dropped him. The board called for a resignation. His clean billionaire image was bleeding. And the public, the same ones who once called F a gold digger, were now calling her a hero. But the next night, there was a knock on her door again. No press, no lights, no crowd, just one man, in all black. It's hollow. He stepped inside before she could react. Why? He whispered. Because I'm done being afraid. He stared at her belly. I don't care about the world, he said, stepping closer. I care about what's mine. Backed away. You lost that right the moment you laid hands on me. Jane smirked. You really think this is over? Raised her chin. No, but next time, I won't knock. I'll burn it all. 2 months later, the media storm had passed. Zayn resigned from his company. Amara vanished from the spotlight, leaving behind a cryptic Instagram caption that read, Some endings are survival stories too. But F disappeared. No farewell. No interviews. No final statement. Just gone. Until one quiet morning in Calabar, a new beauty studio opened on a corner street near a secondary school. Second Chance's Beauty Bar. Inside, the walls were painted warm cream. No photos of celebrities. Just handwritten notes from girls in the neighborhood, thanking the owner for making them feel beautiful. Behind the counter, F stood quietly, wearing a black maxi dress, her baby bump now fully visible beneath the fabric. She didn't smile often, but she didn't flinch anymore either. Her sister helped run the front desk, and for the first time in years, felt safe. But the past never really dies. One morning while sweeping outside, she saw it. A black car parked just across the street. Windows tinted. Engine running. It didn't move. Didn't honk. Just sat there. And then her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She'll look like you, won't she? Stared at the message. Then slowly looked up at the car. Her hand went to her stomach. Not if I have anything to do with it. She turned her phone off, locked the door, and stepped back inside the shop. Back into her world. But outside, the car didn't leave. The only time F ever felt peace was at 2:13 p.m. That was when Zuri's school bell rang, and a tiny pair of feet came running down the steps, arms flung wide, ribbons bouncing, face lit like sunshine. Mummy. 5 years had passed. And yet, that voice still healed wounds nothing else could. They lived quietly in Calabar now. New name, new shop, new life. F was now known as Miss Ibanabo, a soft-spoken makeup artist who didn't talk much about the past and never showed photos older than 5 years. No one knew about Lagos. No one knew about Zayn. And Zuri. Zuri just knew she had a mother who loved her fiercely, and a father who was a chapter not worth reading. But that day peace came late. Zuri didn't run to her. She walked slowly instead, her backpack dragging slightly, lips pouted in confusion. Crouched down. What happened, baby? Zuri pointed to the fence. There was a man. He was watching me. Her stomach dropped. A man. Where? Zuri turned and pointed behind her. There. By the mango tree. Look. Nothing. Just street vendors. 2 kiki drivers. A hawker selling biscuits. But Zuri's voice was clear. He smiled at me, Mummy. But not like you smile. Swallowed hard. What kind of smile? Zuri leaned in and whispered. Like he wanted something. That night, after Zuri fell asleep clutching her teddy bear, F sat by the window in silence. And for the first time in 5 years, she turned her old phone back on. 1 bar of signal. 3 new voicemails. 7 missed calls from unknown numbers. And 1 text. From a number long deleted. I'll wait. She's worth it.